All right, now let's move to the skills. We talk about responsibilities, right? Now it is more inward looking. It's more of quickly assessing ourselves, right? Whether we have the skills currently, or whether we want, or whether we aspire to have certain skills within this. Okay. Michael, if you're back, let's join. So, so reflecting all these key skills, what are very close to you all, and what are the aspired skills that you want to achieve? If I can go back to the modeling before, I think mostly it is very easy for us to be around being administrative expert and employee champion, but you could see that the strategic focus is really on being the strategic partner and change agent as well. So in these key skills, right, what have you acquired now, and what would be the aspiring skills for the immediate future to support the job, for us to be relevant all the time?
Probably data is something big. I would like to, and although I like to read data, or I take cue from data, but I'm not someone who really rely on data. So I think reliability on data, using data as a driver to drive some things, right, is key. I think that's where you become more strategic, because all your all your plan is is supported by data and strategic planning.
Yeah, so that's the aspired one, right?
Yeah. And also probably strong expertise in change management. If you really want to become a good strategic people, right, you need to be very robust. So in order to be robust, right, you really need to be smart in terms of the change management, in order to welcome all the good stuff and also to implement. It's not easy. I think these are the things that key as you go up and up the career ladder, right? I think these things are good. Again, understanding the business strategy. I think if you have a good business leader, he or she will be able to guide you through. But again, these two and also will be something very key that I aspire to gain.
So what are you very comfortable at currently? The skills that you have acquired, the skills that you have been using so far?
Influencing some of the line managers is something very easy, because as I said, we work a lot with the tactical part, right? So influencing them is not hard, but influencing their managers sometimes could be very hard, because they are so used to the current system, right? And they have never been outside. So asking or implementing some change, I see sometimes I do see hard resistance.
What else?
Engage in networking. I think I'm good at that, because I do join things. But again, these are and so, I think communicating clearly is something that I think I need to improve as well, because as I mentioned, I am new to this HRBP.
Mm.
Because previously from talent, right? So my mindset is still aligned to talent acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So even the managers or the support people managers, I keep saying hiring managers, hiring managers. So I
Mm.
think because I'm so tuned into this talent acquisition, so that's why I'm like probably I need that clear communications as well. That's something I would like to do. Mm.
Okay.
So I can't think about how else when I look at all your key skills, right? I would say I'm already at 60 or 70% of most of the skills.
Mhm.
But so this is what I can think of right now.
Right, right. That's good because the remaining 30 or 40% would be a journey for us to be better, right? Then you will create a longer learning curve and the longer learning curve means we can be that relevant for the future as well, because this is something that is going to be there for being a HRBP. Because let's take something here.
Mm,
For example, proficient in the use of technology, project management, and communication.
mhm,
Technology can be AI, can be metaverse, can be
mhm,
something else, but the keyword is technology, right?
mhm,
So even though, for example, in this current state, I know um, I know what AI is,
mhm.
right? I know what um, Agile is as a new project management. But in the next 2 or 3 years, probably I have to relearn to be proficient in the usage of technology, project management, and communication because there are new tools coming up,
Yeah, I
right?
agree with you. Being
Yeah,
half empty is or half full is very good because you learn and unlearn.
yeah. I also, since you are coming also from talents, right?
Mhm,
Um, the learning curve or the learning journey are three basically:
mhm.
learning, and then relearning, and then unlearning, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Unlearn is something to do with your subconscious mind can do, right?
yes, yeah.
And then by just a blink of an eye or probably just sleeping, you can do it. So you don't need to learn anymore. You just need to unlearn. That
Mhm,
becomes a strong skill that you have, right? And then relearn is something that I just I just mentioned, that I know the system, but now there is a new advancement of that. Now that I have to relearn. And learn is something basically totally new. Like you mentioned, coming from TA
mm,
to HRBP,
mm.
it's quite a big leap because you're handling an end-to-end employee experience.
Yep.
And the employee experience can be somewhere in total rewards that you need to master a little bit from Huang, right? For example,
Yeah,
or
I agree.
reading the employee engagement score
Mhm,
when you say that I would like to use data, I would like to explore data to give good insights.
mm,
Because that's what my HRBPs are doing. They need
yeah.
to collaborate with the internal COEs. Hey, the employee engagement score has been out, right? Can you
Mm,
give me the insights? So
mm,
what are we? So the talent management team and engagement will provide the data and give that presentation to the HRBP and share the pain point of the employees and share the strength. And the HRBP then needs to meet with the people manager on how we are going to action these insights.
mm.
That's the part where the HRBP will play a strong role.
Yeah,
You know,
correct.
so
Mm.
so HRBP is very, very challenging, right? There are so many elements that you need to learn. And
Yeah,
then
but
you need,
Be-
yeah.
of- I agree with you. That's very big and all that, right? But how do the good ones cope? I've seen some of them seem to be those collected or very calm one. They seem to be able to master it, and they don't get so agitated, and they don't look stressed at all. But as opposed to other guys, right? If you're in talent, every time there's a hiring, you go high and low in terms of hiring. When it goes to rewards people, right? When it comes to common man season, right? They become like crazy people. What I see in my other, not in my current organization, in my previous organizations, what I see is that these HRBPs are very calm, collected, and this
Mm,
how they do that sometimes, because the scope seem to be very huge, at least for me, right? Because I'm still new.
mm.
How you probably you can share with me how you know in
Okay. Okay. I think first of all, we need to see ourselves, right? There are so many tools that can help assessing ourselves.
Mhm.
For example, by MBTI, I am an ENTP.
uh,
I'm 100% extrovert. I'm high in intuition and strategic thinking. I'm a thinker. I'm a T. So I'm an E, an N, a T, and a P. P means perceiving, right? And it is something to do with being explorative, challenges, governance and policies. In short, I'm not a person who likes procedures and rules. I challenge them a lot. So that's me by nature.
okay.
So be it is me being HRBP, me being a mother, me being in a different role, I will represent myself like that. You know, I mean, I inquire a lot of questions. I challenge many things, right? So that's what I am. And then when it comes to work, I think the simplest thing or the first thing to do is about managing your time.
Mm,
Because if we go back to the role and responsibilities of HRBP, these are the responsibilities that
mm.
is ahead of us, right? How can
Yeah.
we organize all of them, right?
Not possible.
Yes, yes. And it's the time management. It's the priority, right? Maybe
Mm,
you know the four quadrant again
mm,
about the high urgent and high important should come first to
mm,
your agenda every day.
mm,
And then secondly is the high importance and less urgent should be the one that you focus. And
mm,
then next would be the high urgent and less important. And the
mm,
last part would be the less urgent and the less important. So
yes.
if we have that kind of dynamics every day to
Mhm.
do our jobs, I think that can also help manage your stress. And I guess the collaboration with people, the communications will be something that is needed a lot, or I should say it should be there as a
Mm,
part of your strong skills. Because
mm,
then you don't need to reinvent the
mm.
solution to your problem. You just
Okay.
hear how people experience the experienced people doing it, and then you can adapt it,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So I guess that's how I can um, share with you. So assess yourself, and then implement a time management in terms of importance and urgency, based on importance and urgency, and then communicate and collaborate. Of course,
Okay.
there are many tricks and tips, right? But I think those are the three most important things that you may want to try.
Okay. All
And
right.
welcome, Ellen. I just see a newcomer here. Hi, how are you?
Hello. Sorry for being late. I just arrived home. Sorry.
No worries, no worries, no worries. I think we are going to finish very early as well. I think let's agree on finishing at 6:30 my time.
Mhm.
All right. So, Huang, do you have any insights? Do you want to share something? What are the skills that you are very confident and you do that all the time? And what are the skills that you aspire uh, to possess? Or
For me, right, something that comes out quite immediate is I'm able to use data to provide insights because of rewards. So looking at data, transferring to insights, that's like a little bit like second nature. So
Mhm.
and
It's
then
like drinking water to you, right?
there's bread and butter. So
The bread and butter. Okay. Okay.
yeah, and then the part about using technology, project management, and communication, I think that also I think I'm doing fine with these. The objectivity also because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So this portion in itself, maybe things about that I hope to actually so-called work on. Me also similar to Michael, strong expertise in change management.
Mm.
And also, yeah, maybe the part about the deep understanding about business strategy, how the business makes money, and also like the overall. I think that that can help with more communications or like interactions because of
Mhm.
the current scope that I use. So pragmatically, this suits more for business partners which day in day out you are interacting, but for my role it's a little bit different. So
Mhm.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
I think I think for finally the managing culture change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. 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 Culture change, possibly. I'm just making it up. Okay. For example, if you used to work in, possibly, I'm not saying this as a stereotype, okay, but I'm sure it's still there. Like, for example, if you're working in Japanese organization, right, you could see a difference, right? We were talking about pay for performance, but in Japanese, you are paid by seniority, by hierarchy, and it's quite a shift of a culture change. It's probably like a typhoon, probably. It's like a turbulence, right? Because I also happen to experience that. It's not a Japanese culture, but it's a marketing communications organization. It's an advertising and then graphic design and all that, right? And then the way we calculate the revenue is very, very strict and stringent. So if the revenue is this much, this revenue can only be supported by certain roles, right? Like, oh, if, for example, the revenue is small, then I can only deploy account executive or account manager at the maximum, right? And that will tighten up the kind of rewards that we can give for those two roles. But for example, if the client has a very long-standing MOU or management or memorandum of understanding, like for example, 20 years, because we did have that very long MOU. And then the project seemed to be very robustly planned. Then we can incorporate many more roles in that project, in that kind of revenue. Like we can even hire a client service director. We can even have the group account director. So we can have a much more complex organization structure or design to that kind of revenue. Okay, so and this is also going to be challenging on how we put the right philosophy for our total rewards, right? So it was quite shaky for me when I moved from that kind of company to insurance, because again, I want to highlight the culture, right? When people are put forward as the center of everything we do, then our strategy, our business direction will evolve around it, right? And it's going to be totally different when profit is put forward first. Of course, every businesses that exist will have to make profit because that's a part of the sustainability. But probably the priority is slightly competing between these kind of industries or organization. I'm lucky enough that despite the profitability that we managed to get, right, people are still the center of everything we do. I used to work with Four Seasons Hotel and Resorts in Jakarta. Probably by hearing the name of Four Seasons, people will say, wow, right? And people will associate this brand to the prosperity of the employees, the good welfare that is implemented, the kind of treatment, and so on and so forth, right? So that's how powerful culture is in an organization, right? What else, Huang, that is resonant to you a lot other than these three?
I think influencing behavior.
Okay. That showcase your seasonality in your current role, right? You direct people, you influence people to be on board with your program. Great. Yes. What else?
I'm looking more at maybe networking. I used to network quite a fair bit. Used to until COVID. Yeah. Yeah. So now it's like back to networking, but in a very different way, I think. Yeah.
How different is it?
Nowadays is like, attending those sessions and like, through those sessions, trying to like, get to expand the network, and then like, through interacting with someone, and then like, you just expand your network. But it used to be easier where you go for like, certain events, and then like you can openly network. Yeah.
Yeah. Pandemic has given me a different dimension of networking. Suddenly, I know people around, almost around the world through Zoom. Suddenly, I have that many mentors, those many mentors coming from Cambodia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Singapore, Indonesia, and what else? Oh, suddenly I can network with people in the cuisine world because I started my baking in the pandemic, during the pandemic. I end up networking with a top chef in Indonesia and producing a recipe book because of pandemic. So it's amazing how network can brings you to. And I also have a different mindset on networking. I always believe networking is not strong enough. I believe in connecting. You know, I think it's more powerful because connect means you bring up your substance too, and you in return get certain substance that make you connected in your new connection. You know, that is why probably the world of HR or this terminology needs to change. I like connection much more than networking. Anyway, this is also something that I learned from Dave Ulrich. Of course, I cannot just change the word, but I have a different opinion. After all, I'm an ENTP, right? ENTP by nature is a debater and argumentator. So yeah, that's my view. Anyway, we have Ellen here. Ellen, hello. Ellen?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. Hello.
No
Evening.
worries. Yes, we are talking about the HRBP key skills, and in front of us we have these many skills that probably is very close to you and something that you aspire to acquire in the future.
I'm actually looking at it and reading it one by one.
No worries. No worries.
trying to,
Take your time. Take your time.
and yeah, I just wanted to say what are the things here that I currently have. I was
Mhm.
looking at it. I'm not so sure if I have some of it though, but there are some things I aspire to be.
No worries. That means you will have a fun journey of learning ahead because you have so much to learn, and that's gonna be fun, right?
Yes. I think one of those things that I would really want to aspire and to get involved more, the business strategy. Not
Mhm.
that I don't know, maybe more, because with the current situation of our company right now, we're quite how would I say, we're on different locations.
Mm.
All the like our senior management, some of them are in different parts of the world. So communicating sometimes and getting things done, it's quite a challenge. Earlier we were talking about Zoom. Yeah, before everyone was so hesitant, apprehensive using Zoom, even online learning. But actually, pandemic has taught me a lot, and it has become more one of those trusted. Yes, yeah, something like
Platform.
that. Yeah, more on maybe to be proficient in technology and like applying it in our current situation, in our
Mm.
current workplace. Yeah, because we are just starting. It's quite yeah, challenging in some ways. So
Mhm.
yes.
Okay,
Al-
that's good.
yeah, although okay, now that although influences line managers regarding new or existing HR problems. I think I might say not only me but the whole of our HR team. I think we are pretty good in this.
Mm.
As we have everyone like the same on the same boat with us, like having them on board of if there are any changes or policies that we need to do, whether it's kind of different from them or it's kind of challenging for them to do it. But yeah, I think yeah, we're quite good, or we're okay with this one.
So what about the skills that you aspire to possess or to learn?
Um, um, I think this one, able to use data to provide insight for leaders, because it's very important. It's just like, oh, maybe this is what I'm aspired, because I'm like for 2023 is this really my goal? It's like to
Mm.
be to be in the back seat and then not to be involved so much in the operations, and just to look at everything and to be involved in business strategy and how can we connect. I like the word that he used, networking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with you. Connect with the right people, connect with the
Mhm.
management, how to put forward or the things that you would want to do or to start, and yeah, how to help everyone else so that the business will move forward.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah. Great.
mm,
So data is very commonly aspired skill, right? Even me, I still have to learn about it because data analytics have 4 steps, right? Have
yes.
have we gone through? Are we at the prescriptive analytics already, or are we at the beginning of analyzing the data? So it depends on how your organization needs you to be at certain age of data analytics journey, right? So
Yeah.
then again, um, it's like I said, it's a bonus class. It's like a reflection
Mm,
of you being a HRBP after the total series of HRBP that you have been through. I think it's going to be good that from time to time we have sort of a mental note and awareness of
mhm,
what we want to learn more,
yeah.
and how we can ensure that we
Mm,
are future ready and
mm,
is relevant with the journey of our organization,
yeah.
right? Don't be so anxious or stressed out if, for example, you are only at the beginning of your journey or in the middle of your journey. If
Mm,
you compare it with your colleagues probably in other organization, because different organization has different maturity level, and
mhm,
you as a person also have a different need and interest in learning. Yeah, it's up to you how you want to relate your current skills and capabilities to what you are doing now. And then if you want to proceed, and if you dream of working in certain organization um, with, you know, with a much more progress system to work with, or technology to work with, it is okay too, right? I think the key in this case is really around um, bias for actions, making the right decision for yourself. And then that learn all the time is really a crucial things to have nowadays. And and then listening to the expert. Listening means in this case also making connections, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel and grasp their experience to be relevant to what you're doing right now. And more importantly is how what you have right now can drive outcomes that you are very proud of, and that your organization can see that as a strong contribution. And uh, be by all means, yeah, be empowered, um, and ask many questions, make mistakes, learn from each other, be resilient. I think those are the values that you can hold on in the future, continuing as a HRBP or moving sideways a center of excellence, or even moving up as one of the HR leaders in the future. So what I should say in this case is hopefully all the learning that you receive from Asia HRM are beneficial to you. I think you have to fill in the feedback form that is coming or provided by Asia HRM. Be candid, be honest to what you have got, to what you have, experienced so far with us, so we can be better as a HR community in the future. All right, thank you so much, everyone.